Arthur Smith liked Will Howard in April when the Pittsburgh Steelers made him their sixth-round draft pick. That feeling hasn't changed 4 months into their working relationship. After 2 weeks of training camp, the second-year Steelers offensive coordinator offered encouraging words on Howard. "I've been impressed with Will," Smith said in a one-on-one interview with 93.7 The Fan's Jeff Hathhorn in a pre-recorded interview that aired Monday. "You saw it on film him, and you get to know him as a person. He's very mature from the neck up. He's as good as any young guy in terms of recall, huddle command. He's still a rookie. They all have to adjust to the speed. But Will's done a nice job." Smith got to know Howard throughout the pre-draft process, meeting with him at the NFL Combine and Ohio State Pro Day, where Steelers brass dined with Howard. Expected to be an early Day 3 selection, Howard, like many quarterbacks of the 2025 class, slipped past expectations. That fall was Pittsburgh's gain, beefing up its front seven and still able to snag Howard in the 6th round. Like quarterbacks coach Tom Arth, Smith thinks Howard is beyond a typical rookie. His football IQ is one of the notable elements of his background. Recruited by Ivy League schools, he nearly went that route before Kansas State offered him a scholarship. After winning the Big 12 championship there, he transferred to Ohio State and led the Buckeyes to a national title in just 1 year on the job. His time spent around NFL coaching, notably Ohio State OC Chip Kelly, made him more NFL-ready than most. So far, Howard has had a solid training camp. Some rookies have a deer-in-the-headlights look. Not Howard. He knows where to go with the ball and plays on schedule. There are areas to improve, notably cleaner exchanges and handoffs, and his camp has generally been safe, without many elite-level throws. But he's looked better than the typical late-round rookie and has comfortably pulled ahead of QB Skylar Thompson after splitting reps with him early in camp. Howard will open the season as the team's third-string quarterback, the Steelers intending to let him sit and learn. Injuries could always change those plans, and while Howard needing to play would be less than ideal, the Steelers seem to think he can handle the challenge. Pittsburgh Steelers rookie defensive tackle Yahya Black has impressed teammates and coaches at training camp. Black, who has started as the second-team base defensive end and carved out a path for himself to playing time, turned Mike Tomlin's head with his run-stuffing ability and motor. "I've been really impressed by his ability to chase the ball on screens and stuff being 336 pounds, Tomlin said on SiriusXM radio. "Just his mindset regarding hustling is encouraging for a man that big. And so, part of it is the grocery shopping, but now it's time to cook." General Manager Omar Khan calls the shots, but Black's ability to be massive run stuffer is what the team drafted him to do after the Baltimore Ravens pounced for 299 rushing yards against them in their wild card loss. On Sunday, Black showcased just that, stopping fellow former Iowa Hawkeye Caleb Johnson twice either at or behind the line of scrimmage in the goal line drills, and doing again in the team run period. "He's great. He's been what we expect him to be," Khan said on SiriusXM NFL radio. "I think he's only going to get better. We feel fortunate that he was still there in the 5th round, and it was easy when we were on the clock." Black has a far way to go still as a pass rusher, but his instant ability to produce run defense is something the Steelers viewed as a necessity heading into this year, and he can bring that. Whether he's signing autographs after practice, engaging with training camp staffers before it, or bonding with teammates during workouts, Mason Rudolph appears to be more relaxed this summer at St. Vincent. The 8th-year quarterback, who is back for his second tour with the Pittsburgh Steelers, agrees with that assessment. "Absolutely, I'm more at ease," Rudolph said this weekend. "I am very grateful to be back here." The previous time Rudolph was practicing at the Unity Township campus in 2023, he was barely hanging on as an NFL quarterback. Unwanted and signed 2 months into free agency, Rudolph agreed to a minimum salary contract with the Steelers to be the number 3 quarterback. He was given no chance to progress to number 2 on the depth chart. He was the clear third option behind Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky. "I felt like, you never know, it could have been my last year," said Rudolph, who considered getting his commercial real estate license. "You hadn't played in a while, you're third string on the depth chart. A lot has to happen for you to get on the field." A lot did happen. Pickett got injured, Trubisky struggled as the de facto starter, and Rudolph was called upon to start the final 3 games of the regular season. Rudolph won all 3 starts and got the nod again in the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills. But when the Steelers shifted gears in the 2024 offseason and traded for Justin Fields a day after announcing the Russell Wilson contract signing, Rudolph knew it was time to leave. He signed with the Tennessee Titans and started 5 games last season for what turned out to be the NFL's worst team. With the Steelers committed to remaking the quarterback room again, they turned back to Rudolph to be the number 2 option, perhaps even the starter if they didn't acquire another veteran. Rudolph got the first team work in off-season practices and again in minicamp after Aaron Rodgers signed at the 11th hour. Leaving Pittsburgh and coming back, he's more clear-headed, tight end Pat Freiermuth said. He's been great. And now Rudolph is back at St. Vincent, entrenched as the second option at quarterback with the realization that one injury to the 41-year-old Rodgers could thrust him into the top role. It feels like home, Rudolph said. I spent a lot of summers here. I'm comfortable. It's good to be back with so many good friends, the coaching staff I know very well, and new faces that I've really enjoyed meeting. One has been Rodgers, even though he is loath to admit it. I'll have to temper my warmth because a buddy sent me a video saying, "Your eyes are glazing over talking about Aaron Rodgers, so relax," Rudolph said with a chuckle. It's been great. He's been very helpful and very friendly, and open to questions whether it's about football or non-football things. He's forgotten more about football than most of us ever know. It's a great resource. Rudolph took the second-team snaps until Saturday, when Rodgers was rested. Trouble was receiver DK Metcalf and tight end Jonas Smith also had the day off, so Rudolph worked with many of the same players he has lined up with on the second unit. "You do the best you can," he said. "I thought we had a good day. We moved the ball and took care of the ball. It's always a quick turnaround from Friday night lights and getting yourself up for this practice. I thought the guys came out with a lot of energy." Rudolph included. The challenge will be keeping up that level of commitment during a camp and preseason when Rodgers will be worked heavily so he can make up for the off-season workouts he missed. "Mason has been a team player," Coach Mike Tomlin said. "He's always a hand-in-the-pile guy. He's always working and competing to get better as well. I appreciate his ability to balance those things." Trying to find that balance is something Rudolph dealt with frequently during his previous tour with the Steelers, whether he was the number 3 option behind Ben Roethlisberger and Joshua Dobbs in 2018, the starter for 8 games in 2019 when Roethlisberger was injured, or the backup in the 2020-21 seasons. When you get into the season, are you studying more because you know you're not getting the physical reps? Rudolph said. Are you doing more doubling down on the mental work and walk-through reps and stealing any throws you can get after practice? That is the way to be ready when you're called upon as an NFL backup quarterback. Make sure you're sharp and not coasting through the year. It remains to be seen how much, if at all, Rudolph will play this season, but armed with a 2-year contract, he has a measure of security that he lacked 2 years ago. And the potential real estate career has been put on hold. Whether you're making $100 million or $1 million, the transition comes at some point, and you want to find out what you're passionate about, Rudolph said. I'm still incredibly passionate about this game. I love this game. Micah Parsons has been dominant from the moment he set foot on an NFL field. After 4 seasons of elite-level play, now it's time for the 2-time All-Pro to get paid. Yet, for whatever reason, the Dallas Cowboys are dragging their feet during negotiations, despite Parsons entering the final year of his contract. After over a year of asking to negotiate a contract extension, Parsons has officially requested a trade from the only NFL team he's ever known. To no surprise, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones hasn't flinched, and to this point, it appears the team has zero interest in working out a trade involving their best player. Yet, now that he has requested a trade, some can't help but be reminded of an interview back in February where Parsons admitted that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the one team he'd love to join if he were to ever leave Dallas. The main reason why he's intrigued by Pittsburgh? The presence of Mike Tomlin, who hasn't had a losing season in 18 years as an NFL head coach. If I ever return home, it's going to be Pittsburgh, Parsons said. I mess with Mike Tomlin. Just the idea of pairing Parsons with TJ Watt, who's currently the NFL's highest-paid defender, should keep opponents up at night. Still, it feels like the Cowboys aren't entertaining trade offers. Though if they do, Dallas may prioritize trading their superstar defender out of conference. If so, why not the Steelers?